Good day, students. In this clip, we're going to go over some trig problems. This is going to be like an extensive review of logarithms, okay? So we're going to be using this worksheet that I already handed out to you all. Alright, starting from number 1. We have to solve the equation log base w of 216 equals 3. So, let's see. If we look at these two numbers right here, you can see that the base. So what are we going to do? Since the base is w, we're going to exponentiate both sides using w as the base. So we'll put a big W on the left equals a big W on the right. Okay? And then this is going to be log base w of 216 exponentiated equals w to the third. Now on the left side, the w and the log base w cancel out. So we're going to have 216 equals w to the third. Okay? Now, if we look at our options, a to d, which of these raised to the third power gives you 216? Negative 6 doesn't work. I think the answer is 6. If you check it with your calculator, 6 to the third power is basically 216, right? Let's check that real quick. 6 to the third is 16. If we did the negative option, make sure I put it in the parentheses, negative 6 to the third. That's negative 216. That doesn't work. So our answer, we know that 6 to the third is 216. So we know that 6 to the third equals w to the third. So our answer w equals 6. So our answer is A for number 1. I mean B for number 1. Alright, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 says write an exponential form log base 7 of 1 over 343 equals negative 3. So we want to write this in exponential form. We just use the base as a basis for exponentiation, right? So put the big 7 on the left and a big 7 on the right. And then this becomes an exponent. This becomes log base 7 of 1 over 343 equals negative 7 to the negative third. Alright? On the left side, the log and the 7 cancel out. So we're going to have 1 over 343 equals 7 to the negative third. Alright? So which answer matches with that? Yeah, option C matches with that. So our answer for number 2 is C. Alright, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 we have to solve. We're supposed to solve log base C of 1 over 25 equals negative 2. So to solve, we gotta get C by itself, right? So the base is C here. So what I'm gonna do, I need to exponentiate using C as a base. So I'm gonna put a big C here and a big C here. Alright? Everything gets exponentiated. I have a little log base C of 1 over 25 and a little negative 2. Okay? On the left side, the C and the logs cancel out. This and this cancel out. So you have 1 over 25 equals C to the negative 2. Now what if I reciprocate this? If 25, well, we can write 25 as a square, right? What square is 25? We know that 5 square equals 25, right? So this is going to become 1 over 5 square equals C to the negative 2. If I reciprocate this, this becomes 5 to the negative 2 equals C to the negative 2. So what does that tell me? That tells me that C is equal to 5. If we just look out the powers, we can see that C is equal to 5. Alright? So there goes your answer. So for number 3, our answer is B. Alright, moving along. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, we're supposed to write the equation log base c of t equals d in an exponential form. So all we just do, the base is c, right? So put a big C here and a big C there. Now on the left side we have little log base c of t and a little d on the right side. Okay? On the left side, the c and the logs cancel, so we're going to have t equals c to the d. Alright? So what answer, which of those gives us the answer? The answer is C. Answer C is the answer for number 4. Alright? Okay, let's move on to number 5, solving. Number 5, we have 4 log base 7 of x minus 2 equals 8. So this 4, I need this log to be cleaned up first before I eliminate it, right? So this 4 needs to go. So I can make this 4 a power, right? So, or alternatively, to make things easier, we can divide both sides by 4, right? Since they're so located. If we divide both sides by 4, that will make our life much easier. So let's divide both sides by 4. Divide this one by 4. Divide this by 4. So we're going to have log base 7 of x minus 2 equals 2. Much easier, right? Now to get rid of the log, the base is 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a big 7 on the left and a big 7 on the right. And I'm going to have a little log base 7 of x minus 2 on the right side. And on the left side, I'm going to have square like that. Okay? On the left side, the log and the 7 cancel out. And then we're going to have x minus 2 equals, what is 7 squared? 7 squared is 49, right? Now to get x by itself, we simply add 2 to both sides. Add 2. Add 2. And our final answer, x, is going to be equal to 51. Okay? So there goes the answer. So number 5, the answer is C. Alright, let's move on to number 6. I'm going to clear this page first. Number 6, we have log base 4 of w plus log base 4 of 2 equals 2. So this logs needs to be condensed. So in order to condense it, we need to combine this w and the 2, right? When you're adding logs, what are you doing with the numbers? Remember, multiplication of numbers is the addition of logs. So addition of logs is the multiplication of numbers. So these two numbers you're taking the log of should be multiplied. So we're going to have log base 4 condensed times 2w equals 2. That's how you condense it. Times. Okay? Now, it has been condensed. Now we can eliminate. To eliminate the logs, the base is 4, so you put a big 4 on the left and on the right. So 4 equals 4. And exponentiate both sides. We're going to have log base 4 of 2w and then 4 to the second. On the left side, 4 and log cancel out. So you're going to have 2w equals 16. To finish this off, divide both sides by 2. Divide this by 2 and divide that by 2. And you're going to have w equals 8. Alright, so your answer is C. Alright, moving along to number 7. Number 7 is a little bit long. It says we need to solve this equation right here. Log base 2 of x plus log base 2 of x plus 4 equals log base 2 of 21. So let's condense these two first. To condense these two, remember when you're adding logs, what do you do with the values? What do you do with this and this? You multiply, right? So you're going to have log base 2 of x times x plus 4 on the left side equals log base 2 of 21. Okay? Now what is x times x plus 4? We distribute it, we're going to have x squared plus 4x equals log base 2 of 21. Well, let's put this in parentheses so we know what we're doing. Okay? Remember, when you add in logs, you multiply the numbers. So next thing we can do is get rid of the logs since we have condensed the left side. So to get rid of the logs, you put a big 2 on the left, put a big 2 on the right. It becomes a little log base 2 of x squared plus 4x equals little log base 2 of 21. This 2 takes out the logs into inverses, and this takes that out. And then we're going to have the quadratic equation x squared plus 4x equals 21. To solve quadratics, we need to set this equal to 0, right? So we subtract 21 from both sides. Subtract 21, subtract 21. And then we're going to have x squared plus 4x minus 21 equals 0. Okay? So how do we solve this? To solve this, we're going to use the x game, right? So to do the x game, AC goes on top. AC is negative 21, and B is 4. So what two numbers times to give you negative 21 and add to give you 4? 7 and negative 3. So we're going to put that in the center. We're going to have x squared plus 7x minus 3x minus 21 equals 0. So we're going to break it down the center and factor by grouping. So let's do that. Break it down the center and make it smaller. And factor by grouping. Let's see, I need to access my line breaker here. Okay, there you are. Alright, so I divvy it down the center. Factor by grouping, we're going to have x times x plus 7 times x minus 3 times x minus 7 times 3 equals 0. So from the first two, we can take out an x. So we're going to have x times x plus 7. And then we take out negative 3 from the second two. 3, and also the minus. So when we take out the minus, we're going to be left with x plus 7. Are we looking good here? Of course, because these two quantities are the same. So we factor them out, x plus 7 and x minus 3 equals 0. Okay? Now we're going to use the zero product property, set each factor to 0, and then we're going to solve. So we're going to go x plus 7 equals 0, and x minus 3 equals 0. Subtract 7, x equals negative 7. Add 3, x equals 3. Okay, so if we look at the options, we have 3 or negative 7. In most cases, the negative one is extraneous. Because if I plug it into the initial problem, I'm going to have a negative log here when I plug it into this one. And you cannot have the log of a negative number. So this one is extraneous. Our answer is x equals 3. Alright? So let's check with our calculators real quick. What happens when you take the log of a negative number? So let's try it out. So we take, let's see, log of negative 7. I don't think the calculator will like that. Yeah, see, it says no real answer. So you can't take the log of a negative number. Alright? Okay, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, we're asked to solve w equals the natural log of 1. Oh, rewrite an exponential form, sorry. W equals natural logarithm of 1. So what is the base of natural logarithm? Remember that famous mathematician, Euler? E. E is the base, right? So since there's an imaginary E right here, you don't have to put it. We are going to put the big E on both sides, okay? Alright, so we're going to put the big E on both sides. Put a big E on the left and a big E on the right. E to the W equals ln of p to the 1. Both sides exponentiated. So on the left side, the e and the ln's are inverses, so they cancel out. So you're going to end up with e to the w equals 1. Okay? E to the w equals 1. So your answer is A. Alright, now let's move on to the next one, number 9. It says, find the value of x if you have x equals log base 2 of 16. So if I can get these two numbers to match, they can cancel out, and that will help us find out what the answer is. So 2 to what power is 16? I know 2 to the first is 2, 2 to the second is 4, 2 to the third is 8, 2 to the 4 is 16. Voila, that's what I need. 2 to the 4th. So that's what I'll place here. So I'm going to have x equals log base 2 of 2 to the 4th. Alright, since this is a base and an exponent match, they cancel out, and then you're going to have x equals 4. Alright, and that's there. Okay, let's move on to number 10. Number 10, we have, we're supposed to solve that. So we have, number 10, we have log base 6 of 4x minus 1 equals log base 6 of 4. So this one, the base is a 4, right? So I could put a big 4, big 6 on the left and a big 6 on the right. And I'm going to have little log base 6 of 4x minus 1 equals little log base 6 of 4 on the right side. Alright, so what happens on the left side? The 6 and the logs cancel out. You're going to be left with 4x minus 1. And on the right side, the 6 and the log cancel out. You're left with 4. So we're going to solve this equation for x, and that will be our final answer, okay? So what we're going to do is add 1 to both sides. Add 1, add 1. You're going to have 4x equals 5. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 5 over 4. Our answer is A. Number 10. Okay? Alright. I think I'm going to skip around a little bit for the sake of time. Let's jump to number 12. Okay? Number 12. Let's clear this page first. Number 12, we're asked to solve for 12, we're asked to solve log base 3 of z minus log base 3 of 4 equals 4. Now, bases are the same. Minus in the log world is the same as the divided number. So we're going to have log base 3 of the first one, z divided by 4 equals 4. Okay? You divide these two numbers because you subtracted your logs. You divide this one and this one. Now to get rid of the 3 of the log base 3, sorry, you put a big 3 on the right, a big 3 on the left, exponentiate both sides, little log base 3 of z over 4, and then little 4 over here. Okay? On the left side, the 3 and the logs cancel out, so you have z over 4 equals, what is 3 to the 4th power? It's 9 times 9, right, which is 81. And then to finish this off, we just multiply both sides by 4, or you can cross multiply, whatever makes you happy. Or we're gonna get z equals 81 times 4, which is 324. Alright, so our answer for this one is C. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at number 13. Number 13, we have to evaluate log base 2 of 1 over 16. So I want to write this as a power of 2. So I know 2 to the 4th is 16, we just did that. So I'm going to write this as log base 2 of 1 over 2 to the what? 4. So I'm going to reciprocate log base 2. This is going to go to the top. It's going to be 2 to the negative 4. I see the log and the 2 are the same. So what happens? They cancel out, and your answer is what? -4. So your answer for number 13 is C. Answer is C. Okay? Alright, moving along. Let's jump to C. I want to pick something harder. Let's go down to number 20. Alright, so at number 20. Number 20 we have expand log base 3 of 14. Okay? So if I want to break down 14, what can I break it into? 2 times what? 7, right? So I can write it as log base 3 of 2 times 7. Okay? So when you're multiplying numbers, what are you doing? The logs. You're adding, right? So it's going to be log base 3 of 2 plus log base 3 of 7. Alright? So that is consistent with option A. So our answer here is A. Alright? Okay. Let's move along to number 22. Let's look at number 22. Number 22, we have to find the equivalent value of log. So let's find the 22. Log base 6 of 8 plus log base 6 of 4 minus log base 6 of 2. Okay. So remember, when you're adding logs, the same thing as multiplying numbers. When you're subtracting, the same thing as dividing the real numbers. Okay? So to do that, it's going to become log base 6 of 8 times 4 divided by 2. See that? 8 times 4 because of the plus, divided because of the minus by 2. Okay? So what is 8 times 4 divided by 2? That's going to be log base 2. 8 times 4 is 32 over 2. What is 32 divided by 2? Oh snap, I changed the base. It's going to become log base 6 of 16. End of story. Answer is D. Okay? Okay, so that's all for today. Remember, these videos are uploaded on YouTube for your viewing pleasure. Alright?